Hi guys, it's Lillian, the Postmodern Mom. Welcome to another makeup monologue. Today I'm going to be talking about a rather controversial tweet I put out called Why Men and Women Can't Really Just Be Friends. So I didn't plan this tweet I put on Twitter that would go viral. I was just thinking of something I saw in a Facebook group, and basically a mother, a wife was saying she was wondering what to do because she had a guy friend coming over, but her husband wouldn't be home, and she wanted to know if it would be okay to meet with him in their bedroom. Because it was the only place that was air conditioned, and every other part of the house was really just too hot and really unbearable. I didn't answer or respond to that one because I just felt like she was not considering the fact that it just looks bad. She wasn't thinking about that at all, and I didn't feel like it was the right forum to talk about this kind of thing, honestly. But in my mind, I thought, man, maybe this is just something that to me is like really obvious, that men and women, especially married people, shouldn't be spending time alone. And also then further to that, I felt like we didn't need those relationships. So I want to talk about why I think that is. The main thing that I feel like people don't realize is that your husband or your wife is supposed to fulfill the masculine or feminine energy, if you will, or qualities that you're looking for in relationship, in any kind of relationship, friendship, husband and wife, and if you're missing some of those things from your husband or wife and you feel like you need to get it from somewhere else, and they can't fulfill it, I think that just is a little bit dangerous and provides an avenue for possible infidelity in the future. I know you might be like, this is gross, you would never think about your opposite sex. Let's say I'm just talking about for women, your guy friend in a sexual way, but probably your guy friend has thought about you in a sexual way, and maybe it's not like that anymore, but just the fact that that's there is a possible opening for infidelity, and also just having a close bond with a male friend that your husband, I guess, isn't fulfilling. It makes the relationship with your husband a little bit, I don't know, it's just like, what is the point, really? So clearly I'm not talking about just like, this is a generalization. There are exceptions, as always. And then also just to remind you, because I need to be very obvious in this, is if you're talking about family, of course you can have friends that are family, like your brother, your cousin. Because I'm not saying that you cannot have friends of the opposite gender. Of course, your family are your friends. I'm just talking about people who aren't your family, so someone not blood related, and maybe you feel like really safe with them, that you would never ever do anything inappropriate with them. That's probably true, but it just gives an appearance of it not being so innocent if you're spending lots of time with someone of the opposite sex that's not your husband, or maybe you're confiding in them on issues that don't need to be confided in outside of your marriage. And then in general, these divorce lawyers, the cases are that the infidelity has happened with a mutual friend, someone who is supposedly trusted, and that's just what happens. And I guess what really surprised me about the tweet was all of the, it didn't surprise me, but a lot of the people who said that, you know, I've had many, most of the, there's so many things about this tweet. The first thing, that there are so many friends that they've had and they've never had anything, any attraction. And I would say that's rare. I would say it is possible that you've had many friends in your life who are of the opposite sex and there was never any sort of attraction. But I think for the average person that there is, and you have to think about, maybe it wasn't even talked about, maybe it's hidden. And then for the other people who are just totally out of my radar are the people who think that it's okay to have sex with your friends and it's okay to have extramarital relations. I don't agree with that. I'm not talking to those people. If you want to have extramarital relations, or if you want to have sex with your friends and that's okay, you do that. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to people who are married and who want to have a good marriage and want to be married for life. So if you're single and you were like really upset that I said that you can't have opposite sex friends, I think you can. I think they just might not be just friends. You might be open to the idea of having a relationship with them in the future. And that's just a possibility that I don't think is closed. So some people caught my reference on the tweet that I was referencing and quoting When Harry Met Sally. And I think that rom-com has proven its point because Billy Crystal's character, Harry, says, look, you can't have an opposite sex friend that's just a friend. Like, he's definitely thought about doing you. And if you're a guy and you say that you've never thought about that with someone, maybe you're asexual or whatever. But most guys do think about that. But it's just dangerous if you're already in a relationship, if you're already married, to be entertaining that kind of idea. Doing my makeup really fast today because Winnie is awake. I'm just sitting on the couch there. So if you're a married woman and you do have a couple of friends from your past that you don't really want to let go, I would say you can still have them as an acquaintance or a friend, but hang out with them with your husband around. You know, don't hang out with them alone. Don't have private conversations with them. That's where it gets a bit dangerous because marriage is difficult. You know, marriage isn't always peaches and cream. It's not always going to go smoothly, and sometimes you will have conflict. And if you're confiding in someone of the opposite sex during your weak point, then you're opening up the possibility of infidelity and even emotional infidelity. It doesn't even need to be physical infidelity. That's what the Bible says, is that if you lust after one in your heart, then you've already committed adultery. So we want to be really careful as Christians and as traditional women and men. If you want to have a good marriage, you don't need those opposite sex friends. And I feel like if you're missing that, whatever it is, that masculine energy that you're missing from your husband, and you're trying to find that in a friend, that's quite dangerous. So just try cultivating that with your husband instead of finding it somewhere outside of your marriage. I hope that really helps you guys, and it shouldn't be some surprising and controversial statement. This is kind of like common sense to me. A lot of people call this the Mike Pence rule as well. I think that is important to point out. It's also the Billy Graham rule. Basically, if you're married, you should not be in a alone setting with the opposite sex. So opens a window, an opportunity for someone accusing you of infidelity. I guess that's all I wanted to talk about. Did I put my makeup on? Yeah, it's a hot day, but it's been cooling down since yesterday. Yesterday was really hot, and then last night it felt quite bearable. So I'm looking forward to a more pleasant day. Yesterday was so hot. I just really didn't feel well, so hot. Good. I think I got all my makeup done except my lips. So yeah, anyway, my friend Juliana Stewart wrote a nice article about why you should consider not having opposite sex friends when you're married or in a serious relationship. And I'll put that in the link that article below this video. To cover look at my blemish is almost gone. I do have a little bit of redness around my face. I'm just gonna blot that. Just a little bit. Whenever I use this BB cream by The Body Shop, my mascara comes off on it. It must be some sort of like oil-based, something in the foundation makes my waterproof mascara come off really easily there. There. But anyway, I'm really glad to know and feel confident in my relationship with Felipe that I don't need to have male friends. I am really friendly and I have some great acquaintances, and we have mutual friends, like couple friends. And I'm not saying you can't have those. I'm just saying don't hang out in private with an opposite sex friend thinking that it's going to be completely innocent, because it just might not, and it doesn't look so good if the idea comes up. So, hopefully people don't get too offended by my thoughts on if men and women can really be friends. I'm sure people are going to be offended, as they do. What's wrong, Humphrey? Yeah? Alright, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below the topics that you want me to discuss. In general, if you want to engage with me, I'm pretty active on Twitter. I've just been trying to go on only like 3 times a day though, instead of being on constantly, because Twitter can get really addictive for me. But I just want to encourage you ladies to be feminine and to have strong relationships with your husbands. So thanks so much for watching. Bye! I think there's such a joy in keeping a good home and watching your children grow up, and cooking and cleaning and supporting your husband